Hello, everybody. Can you hear me now? I think that we should be good. I'm seeing green, yellow lines on the right hand side. So I think that we're good. But we are back today with part two of our three-part series playing Eat the Reich. And Nerdy has not told me that there is no sound yet, so I'm taking no news as good news. And I'm going to throw it over and let everybody introduce themselves, since we didn't really get to do that last time, at least not with sound. So I'm going to throw it over first to Dan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Pixel, they, them, Let's Play Emotional Damage streamer, and I am playing Irina, Russian, I guess some kind of witch. I summoned bats. It's great. Who's next?
It's me. My name is Josephine. I am a scary dog fan on Blueski, as well as the other social medias that I do not recall. I'll be playing Buck and Fuck Chuck. That's not the actual name. My name is only just Chuck, and I'm an American cowboy vampire. I'll be passing it over to Angie. Angie, it's your turn.
Hello, I'm Angie. I what do I even say following that up? They them pronouns? Um Maybe?
Who you playing?
Yes. I'm playing Cosgrove. Any, all, everything pronouns. Yeah. I I'm doing great. I'm doing great here. I'm throwing it over to Liz.
You're doing so good. You're doing so good. It's going on. I'm Liz. I hang out as the Mulan Rogue. I'm hanging out tonight as Ingrid, embarrassing my entire family lineage with an accent I can't do. Um, she, they pronouns for both. Throwing it over to Vin.
Oh my gosh, hi. I'm Vin at VinVoxVA on all the socials except Blue Sky, that is VinVox.com. That's also my website. I am a voice actor and tabletop performer, and tonight I will be the hand. It, they, something, man bad.
Nailed it. All right, so we have gotten through our introductions with no technical issues this week, so that is already a marginal improvement. And we are going to jump right in to our game. Last we left off, the vampires had crash landed into Paris amidst an airstrike. This is a very daring mission that these vampires have launched to finish the war by drinking all of Hitler's blood. There were several dead Nazis left in their wake as they worked through, starting in a graveyard, ruining a funeral, then towards a department store, and then making their way through the catacombs, in which Flint improvised an explosive somehow with cum, I think. That happened. And then the group came face to face with the Rust Witch, an ancient entity of chaos and decay. And we were worried about Ingrid there for a second, but with some quick thinking from Nicole, she was brought back to the land of the unliving. And now we kind of cut away from that scene to a few minutes later, we find our vampires are moving through the metro station. So there are actually no trains that are currently running. However, the tunnels in the metro make for an excellent means of slipping through the city undetected. If that's the sort of thing that we're going for, which as we follow, our vantage point follows the vampires. Nicole is kind of leading the group through these cavernous tunnels, and we see rail tracks in the middle of them. And as Nicole is looking around, she starts to realize that there might be somebody nearby looking for them, and she kind of looks back at the rest of the group and says, "Stay sharp. They probably know we're down here."
Well, in that case, it just goes into the full Star Spangled Banner,
Amazing.
which is copywritten?
Is it? That's crazy.
It might be. Happy birthday is.
Happy birthday is now? I hate Disney.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love the idea of Chuck just whipping out a bugle out of nowhere and just like playing the whole thing.
Where
Cool.
were you? Where were you keeping that?
You don't think every part of my body is a pocket for something?
A bugle.
What other horn-like things you got?
And
Flint, 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 Flint.
God bless America, Flint.
Flint, Flint.
Nicole looks over at Ingrid and says, "It's a miracle we've stayed alive for this long."
Well, we're not alive. That's the whole point.
Ingrid's eyes, which have been focused on Nicole's ass this entire time, shift back up to Nicole.
She doesn't have no ass. I said that last session.
Am I
Has
having
no ass.
did I drop something?
Huh? No, I was looking at tracks behind you.
And as you point, you look up, and coming down the tracks, you see that there is an infantry squad, and they say, "There they are! Let's have at them!" And what does Ingrid do as she sees that?
Oh, shit! And pulls off, I think, one of the grenades off her vest and forgets to pull the pin, but throws it off into the front.
Incredible.
Just a free grenade.
All right,
Could I shoot the grenade when it gets to them with my very large hunting rifle?
that sounds dope as hell. I think that there's some kind of thing for like a help setup thing. You know what I'm gonna do? I think you would like add an extra die or something. Yeah. So, what action are you going to be using, Ingrid, to throw that? It sounds like shoot, since you're kind of fighting from a distance.
Yeah, I think it's probably, because at this point it's really just a heavy projectile.
Right. All right. So you have an objective, which is to cut through the metro tunnels and make it out to the other side. And then you also have this armored infantry squad that is ahead of you. So after you roll your dice and you allocate them, we can decide how we're going to split that up. So go ahead, and you're using shoot. Are you also spending a use of your grenade?
Yeah, I think if the aim is for Irina to shoot it, then yeah, I'm gonna spend it but I'm just not gonna pull the pin on it when I throw it.
Okay, cool. How many uses do you have left?
That's my last one.
Okay, so that's why I asked, because when you use a piece of equipment for the last time, you actually get 2 additional dice instead of 1.
Ooh.
And Irina, I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll your shoot as you're kind of like shooting it in the air.
Looking at 2 4s, 1 5, 1 6.
Mine is a 4 and 2 5s.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make this just a combined roll and have them roll to defend twice. So they got 4 successes, but defending against like both of you. And so let's go ahead and allocate Ingrid's first. What did you say you rolled?
Sorry, 2 4s, 1 5, 1 6.
All right. So you can choose to block any of those successes if you want. Like I said, there's 4 of them. You can also like save some to let Irina block some of those with her rolls. So how do you want to divvy yours up?
You wanna split it, go halvesies? Or you wanna save yours? I'll
no,
use.
I said yeah.
Yeah?
Said
Yeah,
sorry. Just,
okay.
instead of too quietly, you picked up. Yeah, let's do it.
Split it.
Cool. So if you want to split it, in that case, you'll use 2 of your successes, which should still leave you, if I remember correctly, with a success and a critical to spend either towards the threat or towards the objective, or towards feeding if you want to get some blood.
Ooh, can I feed one and move the objective one?
Yeah, absolutely. And Irina, you said you're going to block the other 2, and then what does that leave you with?
1 success.
All right, and what do you want to spend that on?
I think I would like to have that go towards what is our official objective title right now?
It's to cut through the metro tunnel. So this is like a miles long path, and we're basically following the train tracks or trying to find another quicker way to move through the train tunnels to try and get out on the other side.
Okay, I'll spend towards the objective.
All right, cool. So I think that what that looks like actually is that Ingrid throws the grenade, and then Irina shoots it, and the explosion doesn't actually kill any of the any of the Nazis immediately, but it gives you enough time to kind of duck down a different tunnel. And I think we see a shot of like all of these Nazis, like, where did they go? They disappeared. They were just here a second ago, and they're like looking around, and we see one just like pulled into the darkness by Ingrid, who then begins to feed, and then the others don't even notice that he's gone.
Ingrid kind of takes a stress chunk out of him, looks up and goes, sorry, I panicked. And just kind of, that went way, Scott. It's just chows into him and rips the jugular out.
Amazing. All right. What is Cosgrave doing?
Let me see. I think Cosgrave is. I literally just have the. Okay, there it is. Are there any? Have any of the guys been killed?
There's one that has been fed on by Ingrid, but there's still a whole platoon of Nazis coming around the corner.
Got it. And the one that Ingrid fed on, is he dead or is
yeah,
he just...
he's super big,
he's
mega dead.
Okay. I think, and these guys, are they like armored up or anything like that? Like,
yeah, you can tell that this infantry squad is a lot more armored than the ones that you encountered before. They have like armor plating to try and defend against bigger threats.
got it. I think Cosgrave is going to use their Dance Macabre
Okay.
ability to bring back this dead body
Hell
to
yeah.
use as a distraction. So as the body, which is still bleeding, but at the same time is like just recently passed, Cosgrave will point at it, snap, and just say, "Up and up, my good man," and then will bring back the individual.
Yeah,
One of my abilities.
You see this?
I think I have to use a blood, right?
Yeah, you do have to spend a blood. Ingrid, you're like holding this Nazi as you finish feeding, and it just like starts to like animate and like walk out of your hands, and it just starts singing "God Save the Queen" as it starts marching forward.
Essentially, just using that as a distraction for us to try and get
Ooh, a distraction.
away.
I like it.
Yes.
So that sounds.
Maybe the guys will be perturbed by the fact that one of their fallen brothers has reanimated.
I like it. So you could make a case for con or sneak with that.
Let's see. Either or is good for me. I'll do. They're both the same. So
Cool,
it's
cool.
a 3. So I'm gonna do 3 dice, and then the ability grants me an additional die. This is 4. One crit, 1 6, and a 5. The other 2 are no. So just 2 successes.
All right. So you they got 1 success, which you can eliminate with one of your standard successes, and then you still have that crit.
Yes. Yes. And with the crit, I will just use this so that we can have the guy turn around and start using whatever it is. I don't know, for some reason I'm like thinking about Brotherhood of Steel. I don't know. Think about those guys right now, just like turning around, full mecha suit.
Yeah. It begins to like I said, kind of like singing
Like,
"God Save the Queen" as he's mowing down these, and I almost picture like the Scooby Doo chasing like now this zombie Nazis chasing these other Nazis through different like corridors, and they're coming out of different tunnels and stuff. As you guys are casually moseying down another one, and as you're trying to move forward, so you just want to put both of those towards the objective then, or do you want to eliminate the threat?
I want to eliminate the threat with one of them and then put one towards the objective.
All right, cool. All right. And you're kind of moving, so you move like away from them as they're dealing with that. And the group kind of comes across. There is a out of commission train that is kind of just sitting on the tracks. And then a little bit more, further down is a much longer tunnel that you need to keep moving through. So what is Chuck doing?
I would like to introduce them once again to Betsy Ross and Maria Mitchell, and I'm gonna start shooting down, mowing down.
Amazing. Yeah, sounds like pretty cut and dry. You're shooting. You have, let's see how many in shoot.
I got 3 shoot, and I'm gonna be using my equipment, and that's another one for duel.
All right. So yeah, you so describe to me how you kind of find one of these guys and face them down one-on-one in a duel in order to get that extra die.
I am going to essentially, with the like paired revolvers, it just has been a non-stop onslaught of the Star Spangled Banner plus Flint, just like also kind of like semi-screaming, singing along with me. And so it is just so disorienting. Like there's no magic that takes part here, but it almost feels like you can't help but just suddenly feel like you're sideways as just like suddenly cutting through a corner. Chuck with like the twin pistols with like the beautiful, probably awful caricatures of Betsy Ross and Maria Mitchell, like just like carved and drawn naked. It's just like a true getting mowed down while also attempting to like just be as obnoxiously American as possible.
Hell yeah. So like we can in the distance hear the zombie Nazi here is saying "God Save the Queen" with the Star Spangled Banner coming in like blazingly louder as you are.
I am the Rockets. Yeah.
And like there's one guy who came out and tried to like face you down, and you just like ripped into him. So what was that roll that you got?
I got a 6 and a 4.
All right, let's see what they got. All right, I got 2 successes on my end. So you have a couple options here. You can take no damage but deal no damage.
I'll take damage.
You can take damage and deal damage, or you can also, if you want, spend your flashback for this session and re-roll with 2 extra dice.
Let's spend this flashback. What did I say?
I was gonna say, were those words?
Should I roll first, or what is the flashback again?
So with a flashback, we're gonna first narrate a flashback by having you roll a d6 and then another d6, and then that'll kind of generate on my table what the flashback is about. And after we've kind of narrated that scene, we'll redo the roll.
Cool. Yeah, totally. All right, that's a 5 and a 6.
All right. Who here in this group is the operative that you brought with you on a mission to steal a cipher machine from a submarine?
A cipher machine? Probably Cosgrave, because of that Benedict Cumberbatch movie. That's not real yet. But they had the English involved.
It was based on a real person who was alive at the time.
Exactly.
This is the true story. This is the true story.
Yes, absolutely.
Isn't this the Apple Man?
Yes. This is...
Keira Knightley and Benedict Cumberbatch, who were real people during World War II, who were solving cracking ciphers.
Right, the real imitation game.
The real imitation game.
So, what is it that you feel that Cosgrave most respects about you that would lead you to not want them to see? That would lead you to not want them to see you fail.
Oh, interesting. I think there's just always. I think every English person I ever met set my eyes on. I had some weird, strange daddy issue situation going on. I think it's just sort of, ancient rivalry. I think it's just. I feel the queen or the king at the moment coursing through, and I don't know, like there's just this thing, like I see the Cosgrave with the mascara and the like skirts and the little frilly tutus and whatever Cosgrave decides to wear. Maybe this is just all my imagination, but I'm like, I want Cosgrave to have a good opinion on me, and I don't actually know too much or care too much about these ciphers or situation, but I was tasked to figure something out, and because of my specific Americanness, hamburger was one of the words that day.
I feel like the flashback we get is you saying all of that right next to Cosgrave out loud, thinking that you're talking in your head, but of course you've been drinking a little bit of whiskey.
I want to make you proud.
Cosgrave is in the middle of like basically trying to open the Doctor Strange portal to get this cipher machine off the submarine. And you've just got Chuck yapping in your ear about all of this stuff about tutus and.
I think your tutu's a little sexy. What? That was in my mind.
No, you just spoke everything out loud. Can we please focus on the thing that we have to do?
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
I will give you a minor incentive. I think you're very impressive in your strange little quirky way. But I need you to be impressive towards the machine.
I didn't have a father when I was young. All I had to rely on was the rowdy boys and my own hands.
Exposition. Backstory.
I'm dying. And I think that at this Cosgrave, you pull out a magic bullet that you hand to Chuck. And with the specific instructions that the way to get this cipher machine off the submarine is going to be by using this portal bullet and basically shooting it in a way that it explodes but then reforms somewhere else on the surface.
We have a single chance to do this. You are the only person that can do it. So I trust you. You're a little bit inebriated, and I resent that. But you better not fuck this up.
Can I shoot this through my butthole?
No! You can't!
Fine! Boom!
You know what they say would happen?
Imagine the implication.
You know how there's like actual like lore on what would happen if you put a bag of holding inside of another bag of holding?
Yeah.
I feel same vibe, same diff. Yeah. And we get like this shot of like him of Chuck shooting this thing, and then the whole submarine kind of like imploding on itself and then exploding outwards, and then Chuck and Cosgrave washing up on the beach with this cipher machine next to the both of you.
Cosgrave is on the sand, it slid on the sand, is just like there, like a starfishing face immediately.
I grab a seagull from the air and I whisper into it, "Imitation game," and then I throw it into the sky.
That's gonna make millions. And we flash forward back to the present, where Chuck remember this whole thing, and you see this Nazi in front of you leveling the gun, has the drop on you, but you remember the portal bullet, and we just see like a close-up of like the revolver chamber like revolving over to the back of this bullet, and it fires forwards towards these two guys who have the drop on you. Go ahead and roll again and add 2 dice to your roll.
That is a 4, so another success.
Amazing. All right, so that is going to mean that you can block those completely, and then also either eliminate part of the threat or push the objective forward or feed.
Eliminate part of the threat.
All right. So yeah, I think we see that, and we see like the slow hammer move, and we just hear Chuck go, "Imitation game," and as it fires off, and it hits both of them, and we see just like they like space and time bends around them and like warps and then explodes outward as we see Chuck just stiffly fly backwards from the force of the explosion like a rag doll, and then hit the ground perfectly fine. So that is going to be 1 towards the threat. What is Flint doing? Yeah, this whole thing's a cartoon. I love this game.
Honestly, and adding to the Hanna-Barbera of it all, Flint would like to go bowling, where it's the bowling ball and these Nazi Brits are the pins.
Ooh, I love that. All right.
Which is just barreling forward.
So it looks like you're going to Brawl, which you've got a 4 in. Do you want to use any of your equipment or abilities?
I think I'm gonna take a solid 4.
All right.
Unless Ravenous counts right now.
If it's a special, I think that I think it's a special, so you're gonna have to spend a critical once you roll it.
Gotcha.
With that.
Okay.
Well, they got 0 successes, so you're wide open.
Whoopee!
Nope, so did I.
So you can also use your flashback if you want, or you can just take the whiff.
I'll take the whiff.
All right. Yeah, I think we just see you like rolling down the hallway like a droideka, and you just like you break through a bunch of crates and stuff, but all of the Nazis like kind of jump out of the way, and they like get up and they're trying to follow you with fire, but you are too quick for them to hit. And as they whip back around, they see that Nicole is standing right there behind them, and she is going to use. Oh, yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. She is standing right behind them, and we see like a grin curl over her face, and we see one small rat pop up on her shoulder before we see like a huge swarm of rats running around behind her, and they like scurry up towards these Nazis. And we're going to roll for them first. And then she has a 3 in Terrify, which I think is what we're going for. But she's also using the rats. And all right. So she gets 1 towards feeding and 1 towards eliminating the threat. As we see these rats like crawl up these Nazis and just like begin like eating them as if they're like already decomposing corpses, and you hear like the distant screams of these Nazis that are getting eaten by these plague rats as Nicole walks through and grabs one of them to feed on. And throwing it back up to the top, what is Irina doing?
First of all, there is way too much fucking capitalist music going on around me right now. Irina is going to put her fingers in her ears and roll her eyes at this Yankee dog shit. And she is going to use all of the chaos and distraction to leave behind magical explosive runes in the path they tread. And I'm hoping you'll give me a concealed on that, because Chuck is doing whatever the fuck Chuck is doing.
Absolutely. So yeah, you're using kind of the cover of Chuck making a whole bunch of noise to just like kind of sneakily sabotage and hide some explosive runes. I dig it.
Which stat am I using to roll this?
Which stat do you want to sell me on?
I want to sell you on con.
Okay.
So I am doing the hiding of it.
Right. Do you want to? Well, con is also kind of like for like swaying and like luring people in. So do you want to like maybe try and like honeypot somebody and like conceal some things and like lure a Nazi in towards where you set the trap?
Sure. How many can I get? Let's find out.
Well, that's 4. Well, you got 4 dice in con, and then you're going to get an additional 1 for explosive runes, and then an additional 2 because they're concealed, which means you got 7 dice that you're rolling right now.
Sure do. I'm gonna have to roll these in 2 sets. So here's the first 5. Okay, I have a 5 and a 4 in that set, and then I roll 2 more. And that is a 6 and a 3, so 6, 5, 4.
All right. So they got 2 successes. You got, I think, 3 successes and a critical. Is that correct?
Is 4 a success?
Oh, 4 is a success.
Then I got 2 successes in the critical.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you can either cancel those 2 and then have a critical, or cancel those 2 and have 2 successes.
I cancel and have critical.
All right. And what do you want to use that for?
I would like to annihilate threat.
All right. So I think that there is like one Nazi who like turns the corner, and what do you do to lure him in? Is it a come here and kill me, or a come here and do something else? What is your method of luring?
I think she like takes her finger out of her ear for a second and like pulls back out her like fancy cigarette holder, and then just like smiles just like really brightly, and then da 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 da. It's a fucking Soviet national anthem.
Amazing. One Nazi turns the corner and says, "How dare you sing that communist filth!" And like runs down the hall towards you, and then steps on an explosive room, and we just like see the floor start to glow, and he looks down and he says, "Oh dear!" As we see him like explode into several pieces and just like splatter. And like as he explodes, all of the pieces kind of connect together with like chain lightning, which then shoots backwards down the hallway and takes out 4 more Nazis.
She takes her other finger out of her other ear and goes, "Dead fascist says what?"
Amazing. All right. What is Ingrid doing?
I think Ingrid, having blasted around the corner and wasted her last grenade, kind of pats herself down and goes, "Oh shit! Oh fucking weights of fucking!" And all of a sudden, she kind of growls, and you see those tattoos on her forearms spring back up and rise and get infected, and her 2 spirit fetters start roaming in front, seeking out any additional Nazis hanging out down the hallway.
Hell yeah. I think some of Nicole's rats kind of like scurry in and follow behind them, so you can get the bonus for having animals present.
Fantastic. Is this
You could go for Brawl or Terrify, whichever one of those that you like.
let's do Brawl.
So you got 3, and then an additional 1 plus 2 plus 2 or plus 3 plus 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7 is what you're gonna get off of this.
Fantastic. 6 1 6 1 4, and the rest is nothing.
All right. Let's see what they get. They got 2 successes, so you can either cancel and then have 1 success, or you can spend your flashback since you only got 2 successes.
I think I'm gonna cancel it.
All right, cool. So that last success, or that 1 success that you still have, do you want to eliminate the last of this threat, or do you want to push forward on cutting through the tunnels?
Go push forward on the tunnels, I think.
All right, cool. So yeah, I think that as these spirit fetters are like kind of moving through and the rats are kind of following them, they are kind of sniffing out the best tunnel in order to find an expedient exit and a means of egress to get to the other side of the tunnels. And you kind of call out to the rest of the gang to follow in and group up behind you as you continue to move down those hallways. Chuck, you are like just starting to like kind of get up from the explosion, and you hear Ingrid call out and begin to run in that direction. There are still a couple scattered infantrymen moving through there. There's also the means of there's a lot of walking left to get to the other side of this train, this tunnel. But there is also a train that is not currently active.
I wasn't paying attention very well. I apologize.
That's cool.
There's a train.
So it's like it's currently not running.
Okay.
But you fixed a couple things before.
I have fixed a couple
You can probably get it
things.
running.
Well, let me get into this engine. I got a tool belt full of things. I'd like to fix the train.
All
I was
right.
paying attention.
Truly, Chad is correct. I don't know where Joe ends and Chuck begins.
It's an Ouroboros.
That might be the biggest word Chuck's ever said.
I was gonna say, like, does Chuck know that word?
I got 2 6s, a 4, and a 5.
That's crazy.
Right? Patootie. Fuck.
All right, let's see what the remaining infantry squad got. All right, they got 2 successes, which you can cancel with one of those crits if you want, and then you'll still have a 6, a 4, and a 5. So
Absolutely.
so you got 2 successes and a crit. How do you want to allocate those?
Fixed train. Real good.
Fixed train,
It's
real
a-
good.
Is there still only 2 things to allocate here? Between eliminate the threat and the objective? How much more of the objective are we going on?
There's a lot more of the objective left because it's been mostly eliminating the threat. But you could spend
Got it.
one of those successes to finish killing the rest of the armored guard, and then also get a success and a crit towards the objective if you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll go
right.
for that. We're big eliminators.
So I think you like walk onto the train, and there is like one more guy who is like standing on the train, and I think this guy has main character energy. And you like step on the train, and he gets out like the guy with the sword from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he like does this whole flourish like he's getting ready to fight you, and you just like pull out one gun and just shoot him and keep walking until you walk up to the terminal, and you just start like unplugging shit and rewiring the whole thing. And all of you, as you're moving through, in fact, Cosgrave, I think you round the corner, and you're out of breath having walked miles through this tunnel, and then you just start to hear like this loud train engine fire up, as well as all of the lights come on, and somehow, you don't know how, but Chuck has somehow rewired the radio in the train to play the Star Spangled Banner at full blast.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Put that fucking hand down. Ah. What the fuck are you saluting here?
God bless America.
Oh my god.
Should we get going?
Please.
All of you are able to kind of hop on the train, and Cosgrave, as the train starts moving, you look out the back window and you start to see that there are 2 Nazis on motorcycles that pull in behind you and start pursuing you. What are we gonna do about that?
So we're on the train, and they're on the train tracks.
Right, they're on the train tracks behind you. There's a motorcycle
Got it.
squad coming up behind you.
Is this like a subway situation?
Yeah.
Or so we are underground? Yeah. it's
Mhm.
underground. Okay. I only have 1 use of my shotgun left. Damn.
But you can absolutely like pick up a machine gun from a dead Nazi if you want to do that.
Are there dead Nazis in the?
There's main character Nazi who went down, and he definitely had some kind of weapon on him. What kind of weapon he had on him is up to your imagination.
They were inside of the train. I'm
Yes,
assuming then?
they were like
Okay.
standing inside of the train, and they thought they were going to have a big epic face-off train fight with Chuck, and
Yeah.
Chuck wasn't having it.
Of course. I think, yes, I don't want to use up the last use of my shotgun yet. So I think Cosgrave, who is not particularly strong, just like, bend with your knees, and then grabs the machine gun and like waddles over to where the back of the train is, kicks the door open, and then points the machine gun over and starts. How does this thing work? Oh, right here.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm almost picturing, because of the way you described it, I'm picturing it's like a Browning where it like sets up. But that guy was like doing a lot of reps and was really impressed about the fact that he could just wield it. But it didn't matter because he got shot in the face really fast.
Yeah.
And so you like kind of set up the Browning on the back of the train. So you can add 3 uses of heavy machine gun. And there is a plus to you can add plus to stationary fire. So anywhere that you can set it up as a turret, you get an additional die. And it looks like you can do that on the back of this train.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up my turret, and as the train is rolling, they're just gonna, rain hell on these people.
Hell yeah.
So how much is it? So I got my shoot, and then
you're gonna get 2 additional dice from the machine gun, from the Punisher turret you got set up back here.
fuck yeah. So then it's just 4 then. It's like, all right. Oh, cool. 2 6s and then 2 failures.
Nice.
2 crits.
They did get 2 successes, so you can cancel both of those with one of your crits, and then you have the other crit to use towards either eliminating the threat or getting blood or pushing the objective forward.
I will eliminate the threat.
All right.
Just get rid of them.
Cool. So yeah, you just basically just start spraying. Like every Bronze 3 Punisher, just spraying all over the place. And
don't trigger me like this.
a couple of them go down, and there are still a couple more that are like kind of pulling out as you're like moving through this subway system. For like all of these branching tunnels, you see all of these different motorcycles coming out, and you soon got them pursuing you like you've got 5 stars in GTA. So next up is gonna be Flint. Are you on the train, or are you like galloping quickly behind it to catch up to it?
I mean, I guess Flint is fueled by the brimming American spirit of the Star Spangled Banner, so they're like clawing forward and panting and trying, Flint, 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 and Flint, and Flint.
Amazing.
So silly.
Truly.
All right. So as you're kind of like galloping and trying to catch up to this train, you see that between you and the train, there are several motorcycles flying or driving behind it, shooting at it, trying to get at the vampires that are on the train. But they do not see you yet. Their motors and the train are louder than you, out of breath, singing the Star Spangled Banner. What do you want to do?
I would like to use my grappling hook, maybe for like some reverse dominoes to pull someone from the front to like derail the rest front back.
Oh, that's so much cooler than what I thought it was going to be. That's sick as hell. All right, cool. So it sounds like you're shooting because you're kind of attacking from a distance. So you're going to get... I mean, I guess we can make a case for brawl because you are kind of like right up on them.
Okay.
And you're getting the plus for the grappling hook. We're not 3 or more stories, so you don't get those additional 2.
Okay.
So total, you get 5 dice to roll.
Hell yeah. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that.
And I got no successes. Nobody wants to succeed against Flint, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was me. 4. Okay, I got it now. 2.
All right. You can use those for whatever you want because none of them succeeded against you. And one of them is a crit, too. So if you want to use your special ability to spend that... If you want to spend that crit on using your special ability, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll definitely do Ravenous for that blood.
All right. So yeah, you gain 3 blood, and then what do you want to use that other one for?
damage.
All right. So yeah, I think that you shoot the grappling hook forward, and it goes like through one guy's head, and then you like pull the guy backwards, and you see like a bunch of exactly like you said, reverse dominoes. A bunch of motorcycles get knocked over by this flying body being pulled backwards, and as it comes towards you, you just like perfectly catch the torso in your mouth, and we get like this big crunch, and all of this blood splatters everywhere. As you gain 3 blood from this dead Nazi. And I think that brings us back to Irina. Did I miss anybody? Just Nicole, I guess. I think Nicole's just covering fire, and yelling at Flint, like, "Why aren't you here? We all got on the train. We need you to catch up.
Flint!
Come on, bud." And that's going to make it Irina's turn.
How many are left?
So there's an ambiguous number left, but the threat level is 8 out of 10. So I would say there's probably like almost a whole platoon of Nazis on motorcycles that are now pursuing you.
Okay. I think she's going to take the cigarette out of her holder and then reach into her pocket and put in a special cigarette taken from the pockets of hanged men.
Love that.
And I am going to smoke it and regain 2 blood. And when I do that, just going to take a long drag on it. Fuck off! And she's going to summon a horde of bats.
Amazing.
Just to try and, like, fuck them up and crash their motorcycles.
Hell yeah. All right, so you'll get, let me see here. What do you want to, what stat do you want to use for that?
I think this is going to be a Terrify roll.
Yeah, that fits. So you've got 3 plus the 1 for the bats.
Yes.
And they got 1 success.
Okay, well, I have 2 6s.
Amazing. So you can either get 2 crits and take 1 damage, or you can negate that damage and get 1 crit.
I will... Oh, that's right, because it's got to be the full spend, right?
Yeah.
I'll take the damage, and I will double crit.
All right, go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
1.
All right, and what do you want to spend the 2 crits on?
Can I split 1 crit to objective and 1 crit to the threat?
All right. I like it. All right. Cool. Yeah, I think that what we get is, like, you're taking the long drag and a bullet whizzes by and it, like, hits you in the shoulder, and we see, like, part of your, like, really nice jacket, like, kind of tear open. And that's what... Exactly. That's what causes the fuck off for you to summon the bats as they all fly forward. And one of them, like, they start, like, the bats are, like, abnormally huge down here underground. It's like the crocodiles in the sewers in New York. And they start just, like, grabbing, like, Nazis and pulling them off of these bikes. And also that creates enough distance between between you and the bikes to where you are almost out of the tunnels. You're almost free and clear. Ingrid, what are you doing?
As the train took off, Ingrid breaks into a full sprint. The spirits kind of return back to her tattoos, and she joins Cosgrave on the back and swings the machine gun that's strapped to the back of her to the front and starts firing off at the tires of any of the motorcycles still chasing us.
Hell yeah.
Shoot. And machine gun, we need 6. I have 2 5s and 1 6.
Nice. They got 1 success. So if you want to clear that, then you'll still have 1 success and 1 crit. Which I think the crit is enough to clear the objective, and then you can you can either feed or take a Nazi with you.
I would love to do that, and I'll take one for the road and just throw him over my shoulder.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I think that you like spray and you take out the tires of all of these like Nazis, which gives you enough like clearance to like actually get out. But as you like shoot one of them, one of the tires, the Nazi off of it like flies forward and like lands on the back of the train, and then you just like pick him up and like with one hand just like snap his neck and have a snack for later. And I think we see like as it like right before it pulls out of the tunnel, we see Flint like leap and like land on the back of the train.
Hey, buddy.
Flint.
Hey, kid.
Flint.
Just passes flat on the train.
Amazing. All right, is everyone okay?
Those they don't make these anymore. The tailor has been dead for 100 years.
Terribly sorry about that. I'm just all the more reason to make them pay, I suppose.
Get a new style.
You would not know style if it hit you on your bony ass.
I don't know what you're talking about. The exquisite
don't.
corpse of an outfit has been made from many of the bodies of many cowboys from everywhere. I have some of Flint's skin somewhere that is holding up. It's patching up one of my knee parts.
She takes a heavy drag on her cigarette, just like trying. Her hand is like shaking. She starts muttering under her breath in Russian.
Cosgrove will come back inside from playing with the turret. Sees a groaning Nazi, grabs it and takes a big bite just to keep himself fed.
Hell yeah. Nicole says, shortly up ahead, it's going to branch off, and we're going to need to pick what our route is. If we go south, we can meet up with some of the resistance fighters, and they might be able to help us if they're still there. If we go north, it might be a bit quicker, but we might also face heavier resistance.
I'm good to keep going. Any which way direction.
There were two options there.
Any of them. Any direction. We can go left or right as well.
Let's think about this. So, do we need more reinforcements? Are we able to take care of it ourselves? Or what is everyone's thought?
I only left behind maybe like half of you. I think everybody caught up.
All right.
Flint.
Exactly.
How did I end up with the most undecisive group of operatives?
Well, you never met Group C.
Ingrid, darling, there's only 2 options. There's no C.
I mean, yeah, I suppose. North?
I say north. I don't want to involve any more people.
We've done so far already.
Yes, that's probably for the best. You see that Nicole, it seems like she's dwelling on something for a moment and says, north it is.
Flint.
So as you move north, you have the option of going towards either the German Technology Pavilion or the Museum of European Warfare.
technology or the museum? of
Museum sounds good to me.
All right.
I am
We
loath
wanna-
to agree with the dullard, but the museum does sound better.
Honestly, I'm surprised he said he'd want to go for the museum.
Heard the warfare part.
Yeah.
Museum it is.
However, if we think about it, the German technology could potentially have newer things.
But
Fine,
if
the museum.
we
The
we
museum.
could destroy more old things so that they have less memories.
Flynn. Flynn.
Really, really hit them where it hurts.
This is true. So,
I really love this Irina angle
Isn't it
so
so
much,
good?
actually.
I know. Hello.
We're getting her best side, her breast side.
Her
What
breast.
did you say?
I like the angle of your breast this direction.
yeah, I guess the tear in the outfit kind of revealed a little side boob, I guess.
Rat patootie. I can't look at Dan.
Joe, real quick.
Point of order.
Above table. Above table. Can I hit Chuck?
Yes, of course. You can hit
Phenomenal.
Chuck. Hit Chuck.
Great. And back in
Shoot me.
character. She takes her cigarette and she hands the entire holder to Cosgrave for a second. Just backhands him.
I'd like to take an injury.
Roll a d6.
And takes the cigarette holder back and just...
That's a 3.
Amazing. Yeah. Somehow she slaps you so hard that you get a Charlie horse.
Oh my
Ay,
god.
ay, ay.
And you're gonna be limping for a while.
Oh no.
I have a -1 to all stats, as it should be.
Amazing. Well, you don't. I don't think that you do because you only have the first degree of that.
Oh, I
it's if
see,
you-
I
if
see,
you-
okay.
If you took another injury,
Hit
and
me
got a 3 or
again.
I wish I knew Russian so that I could properly, like, iterate the angry, like, muttering that she's going through. I don't. I know 2 words in Russian, and neither of them fit in here in this context.
Yeah.
So there's a stream of angry Russian.
Amazing. There's a stream of angry Russian as the train slowly stops, and we see a big sign that says, in German, it says Museum of European Warfare. And we see before us that there is a sprawling and poorly maintained museum. And outside of the museum, you begin to see that there are, like, shambling suits of armor. And as you look closer, you see that standing, like, up in the window of the museum, there is this man who is, like, wearing, like, occult robes that seems to be, like, doing weird stuff with his fingers and some sort of strange necromancy as he has animated these empty suits of armor and preserved warrior mummies to be just, like, sent out to try and chase after the vampires that are wreaking havoc across the city. And I think that, like, from the audience perspective, we get a cut inside of this like, Nazi warlock going, "Ha ha! Undead to fight undead. They won't stand a chance." As it cuts back, you have the objective of smashing through the museum before you're overwhelmed by the undead.
Full speed train.
Are you gonna... Is that... Fuck it. So the train tracks end well before the the museum. However, if you want to do a fix to try and rig this train to go so fast that
Off-rail
it
it,
flies
yep.
off the rails into the side of this museum, That sounds disco as fuck. So I'm not going to say no to that.
If.
Of
What do you
course
mean
I
if,
do.
Sean? What do you mean if?
It's fair.
And I'd like to jerry rig. Okay. That was Australian. I got 3 successes, no crit.
Incredible. Let's go ahead and play the museum guards. You said 3 successes?
Yeah.
All right. They got 1 success. You can either push towards eliminating the police patrol that's here, or you can push towards smashing through the museum, which has a challenge rating of 1, so you would have to spend 2 successes in order to get 1 success on that.
I think if there's only 1 on the smashing, then I'll go ahead and do whatever. You said the 2 successes that need to be allocated.
Mm-hmm.
Totally go for that. And then the other one can be spent on the guards.
All right. So yeah, we see you all see Chuck begin to hastily like rip these things out and rewire, and then you feel the train start to speed up at a rate it shouldn't be going. You feel the whole thing is like ricketing, and you feel it like shaking side to side, which is not a thing a train should do, before it just like hits through the barrier, and basically it hits it so hard that it actually, the back end of it spins upward, and it kind of just like starts to rotate like a throwing axe. As then you are all kind of like thrown back and forth across the train, and the top of the train actually comes down through the roof and crashes through we see the train crash through and crush these 2 museum guards, and it lands perfectly in the center of an exhibit that is labeled Historical Vehicles of War. And you look around, and there are like historical armored cars and planes from World War I that are kind of suspended in this wing of the museum.
Also flagging Zoom chat for you, Sean.
Hell yeah. What is Cosgrave doing?
Well, I think Cosgrave is trying to get their bearings back since we just crashed a train through this place.
You're fine. You're good. Just wipe out.
In fact, if we want that sounds like a pretty good place if we want to take our 10 here as you crash through, and then we'll pick up in 10 minutes with starting the ransacking of the museum. So we will be right back in 10.
Thank you.
Weeks!
And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. We're back to
How long
play
have
and
we been
Eat the
back?
Reich. We just came back right after that. But
Great.
yeah, everybody drop in the chat whether or not you think cereal is a soup.
You
Yeah, is
motherfucker.
cereal a soup?
Is cereal a soup, chat? What do we think? Where do we land on that? And also, are subs sandwiches? I don't think they are. Because,
It is a hoagie. Of course, a hoagie is a sandwich.
well,
Sean,
yeah,
why would you do this to me?
because it's funny. Tacos,
Why
hot
would
dog.
you do this to me personally? I can't even pull the it's AAPI month anymore. You waited until it was no longer May. I'm so mad at you.
But
Nachos
it
are a
is
salad.
Pride Month.
It is Pride Month. You know what?
So
Why
we're
would
all
you
on the
do
chopping
this,
block.
Sean?
Nachos are a salad, and hot dogs are tacos.
Oh no, my internet's getting so bad. I can't hear you
I'm-
guys. It's so
I'm
wild.
unionizing with Dan right now. and
I don't think I can make. Oh shit.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to capture the energy of people that you want to kill, because that's what this game is about.
Method acting.
Method acting, in other words, just an excuse for white men to continue to be assholes. We're gonna go back to play and Eat the Reich. Last we left off, we had just catapulted a train into a museum. So that is the energy that we have created in the studio today. coming out of the shakeup of all of that, what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine. Flint scrambles out and just goes to town on the first, like, humanoid shape, anything. I know we're, like, in the automotive section, but if we can go down to, like, uniforms or portraiture or whatever, just start smashing.
Hell yeah. So it doesn't take long for you to spot a window that you're able to dive out of because you are on the second floor, the second story. And you see that, like, out the window, there are some of these reanimated mummies and suits of armor that you can dive towards.
I do that.
So, looks like we're going for Brawl. Are you using any of your equipment?
No, I mean, that 4 is so good. Hopefully, it'll be enough.
All right.
All right. That is 3 crits.
Insane. So they got 3 successes. So you can either take 1 damage and get 2 crits, or you can take no damage and get 1 crit.
I'll just do that one.
All right. So you're gonna take the 1 damage, or sorry, you're gonna take the 1 damage, or are you gonna take the 1 crit?
The 1 crit.
Okay, cool. So do you want to just put that towards the enemy?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So that is going to reduce their threat by 2. As you, like, leap down, and these Anyar whip around and try and attack you out of the air, but you are able to deftly maneuver and muscle for rank as you get around them. Like, it was obscure song quote for an obscure song quote. And you are able to tear one of these suits of armor apart, and you just, like, completely shred it. As this is kind of old metal, and you have steel gouging claws as you are able to rip through this one suit of armor. Let me see. That is going to... We're going to throw it over to... what is Cosgrave doing?
I think Cosgrave will also jump into the brawl. Because we're just for visual, we are elevated from the people down below, right? Because, like,
Yes.
the train has been smashed up against the building,
Right.
so I think Cosgrave will essentially, like, pop off and fall on top of one of these suits of armor, with their legs wrapped around its neck, as they start to rip away at the helmet, and with their knife come around to slash at the throat, and also get a good gush of blood. Try and get some blood out of that.
Hell yeah. So go ahead and give me your roll.
Brawl is 2, and then just 1 for my big, enormous knife. It's called enormous. Ooh! No! I don't succeed in nothing!
Oh, no.
Yep, that's a big old failure.
They got 3 successes.
Wow, let's go.
So you can either take that on the chin and be down, or if you want, you can use your flashback for the session.
What does it mean when I will be down for good?
So basically, you will be knocked unconscious, and I will start a like a progress tracker for somebody else to use their actions to bring you back up.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and be cheeky and do that.
All right.
I think Cosgrave jumped into the fight, being like, "Yeah, I can do this. I can immediately jump in and fight somebody and then whiffed it. So yes.
Womp womp. So yeah, you jump down and you do exactly what you described, actually. You slit this thing's throat, expecting a huge pool of blood to come out, but these things are bloodless. They are completely dry. As you cut the throat, expecting that to come out, and just dust comes out, and they are also just not deterred. As he, like, grabs you and, like, throws you on the ground, and you see this giant broadsword come up and stab you directly through your chest as you begin to black out. It looks like these are silver weapons.
Ooh, I love that. That's so sexy.
All right, so we're going to start a tracker for Revive Cosgrave.
What stat is that even gonna need?
Also, I'm going to need you to roll a d6 and let me know what you get.
A 4.
All right. So when you are awake, so actually it stabbed you, it didn't stab you in the chest, it stabbed you in the face, and ruined your
my
beautiful
face.
mug. Yeah.
Oh!
And so when you're back up to your feet, you're going to have the shot in the face injury. So,
Few injuries.
Ingrid, you see this happen. You see Cosgrave go down. What are you doing?
Ingrid jumps out the window, not realizing that these are silver weapons, tries to grab onto, if there's any of these down below that have like a longer glaive or like pole arm kind of deal, to slide down and take that to try and knock them away from Cosgrove.
Ooh. I'm actually going to tell you something that you see before you leap in. You see that one of these mummies is carrying an exhibit from the museum. It is a painstakingly maintained masterwork great bow. And they have a quiver of arrows with it. So if you want, you can, as you make your roll, you'll have the option to also spend one of your successes to take that as a thing that you can add to your loot.
Would love to try and do that if this works out. Brawl and Great Spear.
All right.
What are we looking at? 2 4s.
All right. Let's see what they get. 2 successes. So you can either take the damage and get 1 success, or it can be a wash.
I'm gonna take the damage, get a success.
All right. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
3.
All right. So what do you want to spend your success on?
The bow.
All right.
I think I want to snatch the bow.
Cool. So you leap down and as you kind of do like a combat roll, you like snatch the bow out of his hand, and you roll back up, and he like comes across with the hand that he was holding the bow with, and he swamps you in the face with an incredibly like hard punch, and you can feel like your cheekbones crack as they come across. But you have the bow, so you can add Masterwork Great Bow to your equipment. You have 3 uses of that, and it gets 2 pluses for Silent Killer.
Excellent.
All right. What is Irina doing?
I think that similarly to the coffin at the beginning of the last one, there's just like a foot that sticks out from like a train door, kicking it like wide open, and she just like pulls herself out, and she looks fucking pissed because now there is like grime and shit on her coat. And she looks around. She sees that Cosgrove is down. She looks at these things and just fucking more Russian grumbling and cursing. And I think she is going to take another one of her cigarettes out, smoke that, which gets me up to 3 blood.
Hell yeah.
And I think, can I use an advance here?
You know what? Yeah, because that's my bad. Everyone was supposed to have gained an advance for advancing to Sector 2. So you can absolutely pick one of your advances. Totally spaced on that. That's my bad.
Wonderful. I would like to now spend 2 of my blood that I just gained back, and I would like to use the advanced Mantle of the Fell Beast.
Ooh.
You watch as she finishes smoking the cigarette, and she she flicks the cigarette out of the holder, puts the holder back in her coat, and then just quickly takes seemingly unrushed, just takes her coat off, shakes the dust off of it, throws it over one of the windows, and then just starts it's shadows and ink pouring out of her, and she turns into this monster. It's covering her like a suit. This monstrous, multiple glowing-eyed creature. And my Brawl and Terrifier 4, all of the stats are set to 1, and I cannot use items. This lasts until the objective is complete.
Amazing. All I can think is, behold, Dark Child. This is so sick. Yeah.
I can take that.
So, God damn it.
There we go.
Chuck is just raw. Anyway.
Raw.
My name is Angie. Raw.
My name is Angie. Raw.
Fantastic. All right, cool. So are you using Brawl or Terrify as you move forward in this horrifying visage?
I think she will use Brawl.
Hell yeah.
That's a bad roll. I have a 4 and everything else is a failure.
Woof. So I got 1 success on my end. Do you want to take the damage and deal damage, or do you want to make it a wash?
Can I? No, I want to hold on to that because this is a big gun. I'm going to call this one a wash. Can we say that I just engaged with the one whose sword stabbed Cosgrove's face?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that you this one pulls the sword back out, and it goes to stab Cosgrave again, trying to finish them off. And I think that you grab the wrist, and we see you twist the wrist, and we see this sword basically just melt and disintegrate in his hands just from the heat of your grip. And he staggers backwards, and then reaches over and grabs a spear that he is prepared to come at you with. Chuck, what are you doing?
Playtime.
Ooh, yes!
Mamma mia. Okay, so
Rock hard. Anyway.
rock hard. How much?
Collection of monster fuckers. I swear to God.
How much to each objective we got going on right now?
You have not pushed the objective forward at all. So just to kind of give you a lay of the land. So you are still in the second story via the skylight that you just created. So you can either jump down and engage with the fight that the rest of them are in, or there is still the matter of just destroying and defacing the rest of the museum, which also involves maybe finding where this warlock who's causing all of this weird stuff is.
Okay.
Also, there is reviving Cosgrave is another possibility.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like my buddy Cosgrave. Can you hear Kendo?
A little bit.
Yeah. So there's another vampire American out there ringing up those Nazis. So yeah, I am gonna revive my best friend, my father, my lover, my brother, my uncle, Cosgrave, And I don't know how. I have no skills with which I can heal anybody, but I'm gonna try.
Yep, fix.
My heart.
Oh, fix! Incredible. I literally just got elbow grease too, so I don't know if this applies. When you roll up your sleeves and take on an objective single-handed with the fix skill, I gain a special which reduces the objective's rating by 4.
Incredible. I kind of feel like you like reach over into your tool belt and you dig out like a bunch of like electrical tools and whatnot, and then we also see you dig out a copy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein that you just happen to have on you. And then you begin to run towards Cosgrave's unconscious body. Go ahead and give me that roll.
Okay, and I'm gonna stab a tuning fork right into Cosgrave's dick and ball.
Not this.
That's cocked.
Fucking echoing bang on that.
It's so good.
That's a 6 and a 4. Well, can I use jerry rigging?
And get an extra die? Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Because you didn't have a plan for this when you came into it. You're making it up as you go. That sounds like a jerry rig to
Absolutely
me.
not. That's another 4, so it's a 6 and 2 4s.
That is enough to, if you want to take 1 damage, to bring Cosgrave back immediately, or you
I would
can
love
do 2 out
I
of
would
3.
love to be
and-
injured
Okay, cool. No, I love that.
Sure.
No,
for the sake of my country.
so go ahead and roll a d6 for me before we narrate the scene.
Okay. That's 2.
All right. So you're gonna go ahead and take that flesh wound. As you like leap and like this tuning fork gets lodged in the nether regions, and we see like this bolt of electricity go through Cosgrave, and we see their eyes just like kind of like open up, and they're like glowing with electricity as they do like the like dead man sit up. Just in time for you sit up, and the first thing is you see Chuck. And then you immediately see a sword go through Chuck's chest from behind.
Oh,
Penetrating in all sorts of ways. That's a DP right there. Ugh.
What is this? What is happening?
I'm not looking at Dan.
Amazing.
God.
Are you there?
It's me, Margaret.
It's me, Margaret.
This is fucking wild. All right, Cosgrave, having immediately been revived, what do you do?
So their sit up, their face, like I feel like it's half split open, just a massive gnarly red and viscera. And then they look at Chuck getting stabbed. And then what immediately they turn, there's like I'm assuming there's one of these guys behind us, right?
Yes.
Okay. Chuck will
I also want to note that because you have that...
Cosgrave.
I also want to note that because Cosgrave has that gash, they have a -1 to their con, but they also have a +2 to their terrify, because they look kind of horrid right now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, a little bit American. Between you and me, I think I'm the Kathy Bates to your Rachel McAdams.
Are we just now
Who
canonically
are
like
those people?
like Chuck is just a
Fine
future
standing
cinephile?
citizens of America.
A time
Chuck
traveling
sees the future of film.
cinephile.
A time traveling
That
vampire.
is the weirdest X-Men power.
Let me see. I am going to immediately then use Phantasmagoria.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
I'm gonna mark blood. It's my last blood too. I need to drink some blood. Ooh, yikes. I need blood right now.
You can drink blood as a free action, by the way. So if you have it and you
Okay.
want to you can spend 2 blood to heal 1 injury. So you can also, if you want to take advantage of the Terrify, you can do that and then heal the blood after the action if you want to do that.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and use Phantasmagoria, and essentially, these creatures, these like constructs, like, are they people? Like, would they know fear?
I mean, they're essentially undead, but there's nothing in the rules that says they don't feel fear. So so you could say that like maybe they still have the memories of when they were alive, and there is
Yeah,
something in there that they're afraid of.
I think more so Cosgrave is going to enhance the fear of infinity, the fear of the long-lasting idea of continuing and being nothing and being small and being nothing but a tool and being made to walk this earth until you turn to dust. But even in dust, you're still feeling these horrible, disgusting sensations of how your body perpetually exists, and with it, all of the horror that the world holds.
Angie, I love the wiggles in your brain. It's so good.
Wow.
Raw, indeed.
Rah!
Go ahead and give me that roll.
Yeah, so I had a 2 on Terrify initially, and then with the injury, I have 2 more.
Correct. And then you get a bonus for using Phantasmagoria, so that's 5.
Yeah, I technically have 2 injuries, because I got hit with something last time. I had an injury already.
Right, it was the sucking chest wound. So and that
Yes.
and so use that compounded on so that kind of counts as one injury because it's in that same 3-4 slot.
In the same vein? Okay,
Yeah.
got it. I didn't know if it's stacked. So 5. Let's go. Don't fuck me up. Okay, I got a 6 and 2 5s.
Amazing. So you can if you want to negate the one success that I got, then you'll still have a success and a crit after that.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I think we get like your eyes lock with your eyes that are still kind of glowing from the electricity of being just reanimated, kind of lock with the eyes of this zombie, and I think we get like a fast zoom shot into its pupil, and then we see like 2,000 years ago, probably like 4,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, this mummy existing in life and then dying, and we see him go underground, and we see just like a fast forward of 4,000 years of him rotting and decaying, and suddenly, having not had any knowledge of that before, but having been reanimated, he suddenly has a memory of all of that, and he suddenly relives 4,000 years of rotting in the ground in an instant, and realizes the fact that he is only minutes away from going right back to that, and he is going to remember all of that for eternity. And in that moment, he just like staggers backwards, just like terrified, and you hear like this loud zombified moan, but not of like a moan of a zombie trying to terrify people, a moan of a zombie that is itself terrified. And it staggers backwards. Are you putting all of it towards the threat?
Yeah, I think we're in a pretty threatening situation. Chuck, myself, in this current.
For sure. I think the zombie just suddenly gains a sense of self-preservation, and it's like, screw this warlock, I want to live. And one of the zombies literally just like books it, and is like gonna try his best to not die and go back to rotting in the ground. It's amazing. Let's see. Just that. Flint. You're up.
So the sun has gone down and the moon has gone up. I had to finish that for you because I love that song. I took the advanced Hellish Screech, Mark II Blood. It reduced the threat's difficulty by 1. So in the middle of all this smashing and thrashing and such is this like terrifying, blood-curdling noise coming out of this man bat. to shake things up.
Hell yeah. So yeah, that's just gonna tick the threat down from 2 to 1 left. And then you can also just make an action on top of that, since you're spending blood to do that.
Where's the necromancer?
You can kind of see him in a window, and he's kind of just like, kind of moving through the museum and kind of just doing supervillain shit of just kind of being menacing off in the distance. But you could possibly like go in and try and find him if you wanted to try and navigate the maze of the museum.
Yeah, would that be search?
Yeah, that sounds good. I know you're in here, Dracula, you big fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn money?
My goddamn money.
It's 1.
All right. So since you're going inside, you're not dealing with the Einar Yard anymore. You're dealing with the police, or the museum patrol, rather. Hold those up. They only get 2 to roll.
Oh, big money, no whammies. Well, actually, all whammies. Shit.
They get 1 success.
Yeah.
So do you want to take damage and get a success, or do you want to take no damage and get no success?
I'll take the damage.
All right, go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
All right. A 1.
All right. We see as you're kind of like sniffing around, and like I picture you kind of like moving through and like looking for this necromancer, and you turn a corner and there is a museum guard who like brings a baton across, and he smashes your 2 front teeth, and he says, "Get back, foul creature!" Amazing. All right, but that is going to nonetheless push the objective forward. And that is going to make it, let's see. I think we're going to throw it over to, let's throw it over to Ingrid.
All right. I think Ingrid is going to take the bow that she just got, throw it back around her shoulder. And with bits of this train that we crashed into while it's still in the room, if there's still quite a lot of these like disembodied suits of armor, I am going to try and engage an advance that I have called Spirit Storm.
Okay.
And if I roll right, I think what this maybe looks like is those same tattoos, but a little bit behind, the sort of background behind it, that sort of fog comes up, and you see it just sort of bulk up a little bit, and Ingrid gets a little bit more strength as bits of metal behind from this train kind of rise up.
That's sick as hell. So what, let me see. Let's just like look at that real quick. So we've got Spirit Storm, Mark Blood, hurl items like Poltergeist. So it's something sharp and heavy. Bits of the train definitely qualify. So you get +1 for using it, and then +2 for sharp and heavy. So that's 3 on top of whatever stat you want to roll. What are we rolling for this?
Raw, I think.
Raw.
If I'm aiming to like just hammer heavy bits of train detritus.
Cool. Are you trying to like destroy the museum more, or are you trying to fight these zombies?
I think I'm trying to take out as many zombies as I can.
All right, cool. So you got 6 dice to roll.
Wonderful. 2 6 and 3 4s.
Nice. All right, let's see what they get. They got 3 successes. So you got 2 crits and 3 successes. So you could eliminate all of those and still have your 2 crits if you wanted.
I'm gonna do that.
All right, cool. All right, actually, hold on, because you have. I would say actually recommend using a crit and a success to negate theirs, because then you would still have, because then because there's only 1 point left in the threat, and then you could eliminate the threat and then still have 1 success and 1 crit to spend somewhere else.
Beautiful.
All right. So you like fly up and kind of are like hovering, fear the wrath of the goddess. I don't know why all these Marvel Rivals quotes are coming up
It's a
tonight.
lot like Jean Grey moment. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And you like the first thing is you hurl like this one like giant like piece of train track, and it just spears right through the last remaining zombie. And then you can turn and you can spend that 1 more success and 1 crit towards either getting blood or advancing the objective.
can I get blood from them? I can't.
Not from them, but there are like just normal museum guards inside.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna eat a cop.
Hell yeah. So you fly in, and you can spend. So there's actually a challenge rating of 1 on the museum, but you can push that forward 1 with your crit, and then you spend that last normal success on feeding. So that seems like the route. So we'll push the challenge forward 1, and then you can gain 1 blood as you fly in the front door that you've just made this giant opening by sending like a piece of train car through it. And you like, I feel like we see 1 like piece of rebar like wrap around one guy and like levitate him towards you as you eat him. And we just see like blood completely like covering. And then Nicole like actually like rolls in at like behind you and tosses a smoke grenade. And you don't see it, but Nicole is giving you bedroom eyes like crazy right now. Because this is the hottest thing she's ever seen. She is right behind you, covering the advancement of Happy Pride indeed. We love it. She's covering your advancement, and Irina, you're up next.
Are there enemies who have blood in them?
Inside, for sure.
Okay. Am I still engaged with the one that is in front of me? Or is that one dead?
All the zombies are gone.
Great. I am going to just start fucking like galloping for the next horde.
Sounds good.
No brains, only slaughter.
All right. You run in, and it is amazing. I forgot that was there. Yeah, you run in and you see that there is inside the museum. There is a still functional, improbably loaded cannon. So you can either just continue to like hack away at the the guys that are there, or you can try and engage with the cannon.
No. She's gonna hack and slash.
We love it. We love it.
The fell beast does not use cannon. Irina used cannon.
Oh right, I forgot. Yeah, you're in full nightmare mode right now.
Yeah. Maybe shit roll again. It is 4. I have a 4.
Amazing. These guys only have 2 to roll instead of 3, and they get 1 success.
Okay, I would like to flashback reroll, please.
All right. Give me a 6 roll and then another 6 roll.
A 6. Oh, there's the 6 and a 3. 6 and a 3.
All right. Who is the operative here with you? And this can include Nicole if you want, or it can be anybody else at the table. Who was with you when you were assassinating a Nazi general at the opera?
Ingrid.
Amazing. So you're actually the person who recruited Ingrid to Fang. What was it that helped you to get them on board for this particular mission?
Ooh. Like this one that we're on now, or the one that
the opera, the assassinating the Nazi general at the opera. And this can be collaborative if you two want to like figure it out together.
Yay.
Ooh, so Ingrid's a specialty pilot typically. So like on the ground isn't really where I'm at. And the opera for sure is not the first place that I jump at to be like, yeah, no, that'll be my first like on the ground mission. So the convincing would have to be pretty good.
Like it would have to
I
be
think-
something personal, almost.
Let's see. What is your background? Where's the character list? Where? What? How vampire?
We have-
That's not a sentence.
Hal Vampire, ex-fighter pilot, bitten by something after a crash in the frozen taiga. The parasite soul of a wild predator is nestled around your heart. Now ancient magic flows in your blood, and wild spirits bow to you. But in case that fails, you also have a machine gun.
So I think that the selling point is like, this will be a lovely time out. It'll be just us girls. We'll have a lovely tea. We'll go out. We'll experience culture. It'll be a nice thing. Don't you miss culture?
I
It'll
appreciate
be
the
so
vote
nice. Plus,
confidence.
I can't fly. Ingrid, I can't fly a plane. That is going to have to be you, darling. You're going to have to do that. You'll get to dress up pretty. I will let you borrow some of my clothes. They're very nice. They're 150 years old.
Oh,
They
I
don't
always
make
wanted to
style
try
like
some
this
of that
anymore.
lace.
Yes.
The jacquard's so nice.
I like the way you think. And the entire, like the actual purpose of this, because I think that Irina is really confident in her sniping ability to just assassinate like this fucking general at the opera from like a hidden box, and she's just gonna like have Ingrid like spot for her, but also be just like, so what is the deal with you and Nicole?
Deal with me, Nicole?
I see how you look at her.
No, I mean, she's, well, she, how do I put this? You know meatballs, right? So they can be quite nice on a plate with, one type of, but also you have lingonberries, and that's also quite nice. And, well, I think, so where the opera, she's not going to be there, is she?
No.
No?
And I feel like it's a Scott Pilgrim flash cut of and now you're talking and now you're at the opera and the same conversation is just continuing.
So you just see like Irina like looking down sights from like the little like light booth, just like
Ingrid's busting out of an outfit that she's borrowed. At the seams, there's fur popping out of like ribbon.
Look, if I may give you some advice, one magical creature to another. Life was short, and unlife is long, but also fucking weird. And I think maybe it's what's the word? For it. And she pulls the trigger.
Amazing. So I think what happens is you do that whole thing, you pull the trigger, and then something happens that doesn't usually happen. You miss. And because of that, like the Nazi general whips around and like alerts everybody, and just by pure instinct, just off of the base instinct of knowing exactly what to do and not even thinking, just going, Ingrid leaps into action and just like guts this Nazi general before he can react and find you. And I think that is the thing that brings you back to this moment, is where this is being in this form, you have to operate on base instincts. And you remember watching Ingrid do that. And that gives you kind of the guide that you need to kind of adjust to this form and operate within it to its full potential. So go ahead and redo that roll and do 2 extra rolls.
Okay. So that is 6 total. Okay, that's already better. Okay, that is 6, 5, 5, 5.
All right, so you can clear, so that they have 1 success, which means that you get 2 successes and a crit after clearing that.
Yes.
I would like to get some blood.
All right. And then the threat is currently at 3. The museum needs 5 more to be completed, but it also has a challenge of 1, so you would need to spend an additional in order to put points towards it.
Okay. I will spend 2 for blood and
All right.
crit for challenge.
All right, cool. So that pushes that forward by 1, and then you get 2 blood. You like run forward and we see like it cuts back and forth to this flashback of Ingrid and then Irina in this form kind of doing the exact same moves that she learned while watching Ingrid. And Chuck, what are you doing?
We have like one more tick, right, at this point?
There's still a couple more. We're about halfway done with the challenge clock, because we haven't pushed that forward much. It's been mostly on the zombies.
That's true. I'm getting more blood right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, I love destruction. Are there any wings we haven't touched?
There can be. You know what? In fact, there is. There is one. There's a whole section on the Napoleonic Wars that is right around the corner from where you are. And at first you're kind of like not sure, but then you hear a very familiar sound. You hear what sounds like horses' hooves moving around and galloping. And you look down the hall and we see like in slow motion coming around the corner is a zombified horse. And it's like slowly galloping. This is Napoleon's undead horse. But
you're beautiful.
And we just hear like, I believe in miracles. And it's like this thing is galloping around, and Chuck, the cowboy, sees this horse.
I'm gonna fuck that French horse. All right. Well, if I have to kill an animal. If I have to kill an animal, it would have been an emperor's.
Well, you don't have to kill it.
Okay, never mind.
It's
You
loot.
could make it yours.
I want you to know this is not something I'm making up off the dome because it's funny. In the book, in Museum of European Warfare, there is a list of loot that you can get from the museum, and one of them is Napoleon's undead horse, which has 2 uses.
Mount the horse. 2 weaknesses.
So it has 2 uses. So you can use it twice in order, but just like you would use any kind of weapon or tool or anything, you can use it as equipment, and you get a plus for using it to trample.
Meow.
I couldn't hear you over the old cat dying in the background. Excellent. What can I do to? Is it possible to do I have to focus on the horse or the objective, or can I?
That's not your action. You were just able to jump on the back of the horse, and then you can use that towards your action, or just have it and carry it forward.
Fantastic. All right. I have not been getting opportunities to get blood in, unfortunately, but that will certainly not stop me. Is there anything like hanging off of the ceiling on?
There is now.
There is now. Excellent. Okay, like I'm specifically thinking about if there's other not floating, but things that are held up by very flimsy.
Are we doing the chandelier bit?
Yeah, chandeliers.
There can absolutely be a chandelier for sure.
Absolutely. Betsy Ross and Maria Mitchell, the first lady who made the flag, I don't know, whatever Betsy Ross fucking did, and also the first lady astronomer in America. I would like every chandelier to meet both these women right now on top of this horse.
Amazing.
Horse.
So it sounds like you're doing shoot.
Yeah.
And let's see here.
Ay, ay, ay.
What's up?
Are you talking to your wife?
Yeah, I'll be done in a couple minutes. Like probably like 20 minutes.
Sean's wife, we were very busy.
No.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So they got 2 successes. How many successes did you get?
Well, I got 2 crits and a 4 and 5.
Amazing, which means that you can cancel those successes with your 2 successes and still get 2 crits.
Excellent.
How do you want to allocate those?
I'm allocating it to the objective.
All right, so
Just causing more destruction. Fuck Napoleon. And his little, like...
Yeah. I think that we get this montage of you just like galloping through, and you're just like shooting in every direction and just like shooting out windows, shooting chandeliers. This whole thing's falling apart, and then we get this, like this long hallway shot of this warlock running down the hallway in slow motion, looking back over his shoulder with you riding the horse behind him. Just
What's the horse's name?
It just says Napoleon's undead horse, Jacques, maybe.
It's Jack. It's Jack. Your name's Jack now. All right.
America. And we get like says you just like run like trample this man down. Good job, Jack. And he's and there is 1 tick left on the museum. How are you going to destroy the structural integrity that is left here before making your grand exit, Cosgrave?
How are we gonna destroy this? What is in the general vicinity of this area? Like, is there any additional equipment or loot, as you've called it?
Yeah. So there are a couple things that are in the book, but also, just if there's something specific that you think would be cool to find, we can roll with it. We're in a museum of European warfare. What would Cosgrave think would be interesting to take from a museum?
I'm gonna be so honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Cosgrave would think some things are very interesting. Angie, on the other hand, is blanking on anything of military importance.
Totally fair. So you do see one. There's an exhibit that you walk past, and there it says religious relics from the Crusades, and you come up and you see that there is like this little round ball, and it has a little cross on top of it. And as you kind of look closer, you can kind of get the whiff of sulfur coming off of it. And you think that would be interesting. And so you can put 1 use of Holy Hand Grenade down and add 3 pluses for rabbits.
Rabbits? Why rabbits?
It's
What
the
am I
holy
missing?
hand grenade of Antioch.
I should have paid attention.
That was fan service just for me.
Okay, I see.
And
No,
Dan
wait,
apparently.
wait.
And Dan
Does
apparently.
nobody else know what this is?
No. What is it?
Open the schools!
Open
Wait,
up
what
the
are we talking about?
schools!
What are
Monty
we talking
Python!
about?
and
My
the
headphone
Holy
fell out. What are we
fucking
talking about?
Grail.
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah,
only
yeah,
thing
yeah.
I know about that movie is the coconuts.
That's okay. So
It.
Oh my god.
Ow, my back.
Yeah, no, Cosgrave will grab it and look at it, and I was gonna say, Chuck, give me a blicky, but Blicky.
what?
From the future. Yeah, the lighter, I think, smelling the sulfur in it, I think Koshik can piece 2 and 2 together. They are going to light this thing and just chuck it in the direction that it looks most structurally weak, so that we can try and just like create a a cave-in of sorts so that we can escape out.
Hell yeah, absolutely. So what skill do you want to use to do that?
Well, you see,
You could definitely argue shoot, that you're fighting from a distance. You could argue fix, because you are kind of like putting something together, or taking something apart in kind of a violent way. I would say fix would make sense.
I think fix would be cool.
All right, go ahead and roll
Yeah.
4 dice.
So then plus my 3 in fix.
Yes. Well, so it's through. Yeah. That tracks.
Is it?
Because it's three.
is,
you
I
get
have
3 dice
for
and
the
fix.
hand grenade?
You get 1 for the hand grenade. It was going to be an extra 3 if you saved it to use on rabbits.
On rabbits. That's so. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. No, I'm not gonna save it because I don't know the reference. So it's just gonna be 4 dice rolls.
All right.
I did not understand that reference.
It's all good.
That is 3 successes.
Amazing.
2 5s and a 4. No crits.
All right.
Yoink!
Sorry, how many? You said 3 4s and a 5?
2 5s and a 4.
2 5s and a 4. So you've got 1 spare after taking care of the objective if you want to get some blood.
Yeah, I will get blood for sure.
All right.
I need that.
Yeah, and I think we get like this slow-mo shot of all of you like walking out of the museum, and Cosgrave just tossing the hand grenade over their shoulder, and we see the whole thing explodes behind them because cool people don't look at explosions as
Yeah,
they're
no.
walking away.
Just a big, fat, ugly gash on their face.
Big fat ugly gash, and there was much
Fire.
rejoicing. Yay!
That's also a Monty Python reference for those of you who missed the first one.
It's good. We're gonna keep missing them too.
All good. And I think that is a good place to leave off for this one, as you are making your way into Sector 1, which is where we will pick up next time. So that I don't forget next time, everyone pick what your second advance is going to be. And yeah, we will be back here next week for the final episode of Eat the Reich. Eat the Reich, I forgot to mention this. I should have mentioned this more. Eat the Reich's a really awesome game that's made by some really awesome creators called Rowan, Rook, and Deckard, written by Grant Howitt. And you can look at the game and you can look it up and download it and pay for it and buy it and all that stuff at rowanrookanddeckard.com. Here's the thing, they usually make a trip to Gen Con almost every year because they're game designers and stuff. This is the first year in a while that they are not going to be at Gen Con because they are a UK-based company, and there's a lot of weird shit going on in the US right now, and there's a lot of people who don't feel safe coming to the US. So this is a really good time to support creators outside of the US like Rowan, Rook, and Deckard in whatever way that you are able to, so that they can continue being able to make their games, and that we can continue being able to support people who are about anti-fascism, and also fuck Gen Con, and also fuck fascism, and also fuck everybody who's about it. So, yeah, we're going to go around in the circle and everybody talk about where we can find you and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start by throwing it over to Dan.
I just dropped one of my dice on the ground and it made a loud clacking sound. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Pixel, Pyxel. You can find me everywhere on the internet under that name. What else? As I said before, I am a Let's Play streamer. I do emotional damage games. I am currently in Act 3 of Clair Obscure Expedition 33, and I am forever changed as a person. Drop by on Sundays, Tuesdays, or Wednesdays on my Twitch if you want to see me lose my shit about that and my beautiful wife, Lune. Not this next week. I will be in California next week. So I will not be on my normal streaming schedule, but after that, we'll be back to normal. Let's see. I have a GM. I'm GMing a game, system not decided yet, in July as a fundraiser for the Dots RPG, which is a foundation for getting Braille dice to players who need them. And I'm very excited to do that. I still have to pick a game and a cast, but I have been thinking about it for some time. That's going to be a lot of fun. What else? I don't think I have any other projects. Oh, I guess I can say this now. I got nominated for a Crit Award.
Woo-woo!
I'm very excited. I got nominated for Best GM for Darrington Press, Candela Obscura, for my one shot, The Circle of Seekers and Sinners, Deep Breath, in which Angie was one of my players. It was a lovely time. And if you would like to watch it, you can find it on the Bad House RPG channel. And vote for me. Yay. That's what I got.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josephine at Scary Dog Friday. I have been bucking, fuck, chuck, rooting, tooting, and shooting. I don't love America. I hope that is clear. On Mondays, for Secret Nerd Podcast, we have a corrupted story where Angie is, and also Oleander and Cleric are playing people survivors of the apocalypse 5 years in, currently surviving in a horrid paramilitary situation. That we are on episode 6 right now, and I believe there is going to be a talkback this Friday. There might be a break sometime during this halfway point as our friend Navar gets wrapped up in more editing, but also support Navarre's game Sooth Wardens, where you're playing two people whose souls are interchangeably interlocked as a wielder and a weapon. A little shout out for Navarre. On Tuesdays, I also play Monster Hits 2 over at Lantern Light Adventures as the playbook The Manticore, which is written by Nicole Tuttle Robb. We are basically, it's like if, Buffy is the menu is the bear. We're playing in a Michelin star restaurant and lots of horrible things happen so far. And I just hit my darkest self yesterday. So we got that going on. We got this and lots of fun stuff. Check out Bad House RPG during the summer. We have some audio only fun stuff coming out within the Darkness Eternal world. Vampires will be coming back to you very, very soon. That's me.
Wait, Bad House also is up for a Crit Award, aren't you guys?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yay.
Vote, vote, vote. And Angie, you're next.
Oh, it's me. Hi, it's me, Angie. They, them pronouns, agonthetic on the internet. You can catch me every Sunday over on Tales Archive for our ongoing D&D campaign, Known Realms Tolesh. I know that I'm pretty sure that shit's about to hit the fan. And we are nearing the end of my wonderful character Zio's journey. So it is, yeah, it's coming to a close soon. That doesn't mean that I won't be in Tales Archive anymore. I will just simply be introducing a new character. So we are also crit nominated for Best Series, as well as for Best Overlay. And Tales Archive is nominated for Best Legacy YouTube channel. So very exciting things. You can also catch me over on Just the Humans channel on June 18th for a game that is the boyfriend in my head is not my boyfriend. It is a GM-less game. We're gonna have some fun doing some charity streaming one shot. It's gonna be very silly. Set in a queer bar, which is gonna be super fun. And also go check out Dicescape YouTube for our current The Last Arcanist Daggerheart not campaign, but AP. We are releasing our origin stories right now, and a little bit later on in the year, we'll be releasing the first episodes. My character's origin story is going to be the last one, so it's still a bit to go before we get to him, but yeah, that's me.
Hi, what's going on? I'm Liz. I was hanging out tonight as Ingrid, a Scandinavian sapphic who can't take a hint. I don't know. That seems too close to home. Um, you can catch me hanging out here. This is kind of the only thing I'm doing right now for the foreseeable future. Call your reps is kind of the only thing I have to say right now. Please call your fucking reps. I'm not doing much right now until fascism goes away. Like, Call your reps. That's all I got. Good night.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Uh, Again, I'm Vin at Vinvox VA. I'm most socialist at Blue Sky, that is Vinvox.com. I am also a voice actor and tabletop performer. I don't have any Crit Award nominations, but I was recently announced in this audio drama Dracula 2004, which kind of just puts a long distance route or whatever in the tale of Dracula. Well, I'll be playing Quincy Morris. If you want to hire me, I'm just going to say it again, vinbox.com. That is my resume, that is my demo reels, my point of contacts, or you can just email me directly. And I'm just sinking in session zero, so just be prepared to be sick of me later half of the year.
Hell yeah. And I've been Sean. I've played everybody else. You can find me at High Gain Sad, mostly on Blue Sky and TikTok. And also right here next Thursday night to conclude this lovely game with these lovely people. And also on Sundays for our Marvel Multiverse game. This Sunday we are going to space, and we have special guests Kelly and Kendo as Rocket Raccoon and Groot. So it'll be all sorts of crazy fun chaos. We're very excited about it. But until then, drink some water and fight some fascists. We'll see you next time.